Okay, seed sowing and transplanting. Well, the other most common problem or situation that novice gardeners do, besides overwatering, is sowing the seeds too thickly. It requires a tremendous amount of self-control to sow those seeds at a spacing that is optimum for the seeds, and very, very few people can do it. I can't do it. There's not many people who can do it. A little trick we learned in England is to mix the seeds with sand, and then you would just go along and sow the sand, and you get the odd seed here and there mixed in with it. But yes?
Another trick is, like with carrot seed, it's really tiny. You take a piece of Scotch tape, and you put it right where you want it on the Scotch tape, and you put it in the ground. Or better than that, you use some natural cotton string, white string, so you can see the seed, and put that in the garden. That'll decompose.
How do you attach the seeds to the string?
You wet them.
Wet the string?
You wet the string, yeah.
And that way you drop the seeds on the string?
Yeah, you drop the seeds exactly where you want them, and then you got your row, and it's perfectly straight.
The disadvantage of sowing seeds too close together is twofold. Firstly, the seeds are competing with each other for the nutrients in the soil, so they don't grow as healthily as they would, should, or could, or any of those. And secondly, that you've got to thin them out, and in thinning them out, you've got to separate the roots from each other, from the plant next door. And the secret of transplanting is to try to disturb the root and the root's relationship to the soil as little as possible. So if you sow your seeds really thinly in the flat, then when it comes time to dig them up with your trowel, you can gently separate the roots from each other if the seeds are nicely spaced out, and then transplant them into the new location. And the ideal time for transplanting is when the seed first germinates. It puts out two leaves that are called seed leaves, and then it puts out the true leaves, and there's always a distinction between them. Usually the seed leaves are kind of thinner, and then the true leaves are more the actual shape of the leaf. So when it's put out the first set of true leaves, and these leaves are pretty well established, like the plant is about that big in the new location. So transplanting, trying to do earlier. If you do it too soon, obviously the plant has less chance of making it. And what I do is I go along and I dig a hole in the soil with my trowel where I'm going to put the new plant with the right spacing. And then I put water in the hole, so the plant isn't going to go into dry soil. And then, having watered in the hole, I let the water percolate away. So I've started over there, dug the hole, put the water in, and then by the time I've got here, I go back to here, and then put the plant in the hole, which is now moist, and cover it over, go back again, and then do a final watering. And that's the way I found my optimum transplanting technique. But it's a really critical thing to do, and the general rule is don't try and transplant root crops, carrots, beet, radish, forget it. They do not grow as well if you transplant them. I mean, occasionally you might get lucky, but often the carrots will develop curly roots, and so sow those in situ, sow them as thinly as possible so you don't have to pull them out and transplant them, and you'll have a lot better luck with propagation.